What's up, Hood News peeps? Welcome back. This is what, episode
20.
20, man.
20.
Yes, episode 20. We got so much in store for you. So many videos, so much input, so much impact, and also lots of news, man. So stay tuned. Go get your chips, go get your snacks.
Yeah, Grizzy, I'm looking at all these videos that have been coming in for the last couple of days, and it's the Hood News Olympics is strong.
We got the Hood News Olympics going hard. 2024, y'all.
I see even the dogs were even at it.
Man, even plasma centers weren't safe. Sheesh.
We got a good show coming up. Stay locked in. All right, so bandit season is strong, Grizzy, and followers. You see it all over Hood News. And we have a cell phone bandit that happened on the east side. What happened here?
Man, a local business off of Market Street near I-10 was closing for the day. You know, mom pop shops, you know, they got to close up and, you know, they're comfortable. Like mom pop shops usually are like a second home. Mm-hmm. So you leave your phone, you know, you got clothes. They got a couch. Look at the couches. I mean, they've got stuff. Yeah. So this guy walks in. There's nobody around. They're closing the back part of the shop. And he swipes a phone. Yeah. I mean, literally right there on camera, clear as day. If you're in the Harris County Jail right now and you're watching this, he's probably in your cell block. Yeah. I'm not lying. This dude's got a lot of trouble coming.
And he even looked at the camera.
Yeah, he looked at the camera. And it was only just a few seconds before we had to come on down available. I'm not even lying. Like, I was busy and I lost track of time, and I went to my messenger and my phone was blown up with messages. Grizzy, it's this guy. Grizzy, it's this guy. Man, it began a saga. Right. So the Hood News peep got the name, we found out some more details. We got an address for his mama's house. Uh-oh. The peep pulls up. The guy comes around from around the mom's crib. And he tells the Hood News peep, hey, there's a woman that's got your phone. The woman that was opening that door, there's a female in this video, but you don't see her. That female now has the phone. Long story short, just to trim it up for everybody, the lady got arrested that morning. Wow. She had warrants, dude. Bandits flocked together, man, feathers of a kind, whatever. Right. Man, dude, this chick was the cops took the car, right, and the cell phone was in the impound. So it's everything. It's just a big old mess. He hasn't recovered the phone yet, but we know who they are. We know who she is. And I mean, it's just a wild story. The good thing is that somebody stepped forward and hooked it up with the phone discount, a huge discount on the iPhone. So our peeps were able to get that. But the mom wanted her phone back because, you know, that's like a body part, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, there's also pictures and photos on that phone, and there's some memories on that. But just the nerve to go in there and walk in that business and just walk in there, see a phone sitting on the counter and walk right out.
Yeah, and he answered the phone too. He said, hey, give me $50.
No way.
Give you back your phone. Yeah, like that was part of the thing. There, that was adding more insult to injury. I'm like, nah, you keep that phone.
He
You're
was
going
texting a response.
Yes. So it just turned into this wild saga that lasted over a couple of days. But we were tracking the phone everywhere. It was all over the east side. Shout out to all our east siders out there. Man, hey, take a look at him. He might be spreading cheeks soon. Uh-oh. Yeah, there he is.
Well, it looks like he has easy access already. With the
yes. Hey, we got a few butt cracks on this this episode, yeah.
In fact, Anna on Facebook says he should have went to Walmart and stole a belt from them for the shorts instead.
Yes. Man, that's just why. Man, people are wilding out today, man. Every day in H-Town.
And then Javier on Facebook says, the sagging swindler.
Oh, the sagging swiper too, man. Look at him, swiper, no swiping. Dude, like, he could have took another phone because there were two phones on the desk. I guess he's like, nah, just leave. I'll take off with one. Yeah. And then we got Santos Dominguez in the house. Shout out to him. He says, full diaper bandit.
Oof, that's like, you know, when the 2-year-old's running around with a full diaper.
Mm-hmm. Caquita. Yes.
And they swipe too. They take stuff off the food and they run off.
Yep. Look at him.
Well, glad we got him.
Yeah. He's been identified. The woman's been identified. There she is holding the door. You see her? Yeah, man. It's just wild. Man, it's just crazy. Do better, folks. Do better. Phones are like body parts. You're stealing body parts.
Right.
Spring Branch area. Be on the lookout, friends. So last week we showed these unbelievable videos where people are walking into local hardware stores, you know, where they sell power tools, battery packs for those tools and all kinds of supplies. These cats go in with trash bags, fill them up. And I'm talking about 50 to 60 parts going in. They're loading up, as you guys see here. And then they drag this stuff out. And, you know, these days, employees are powerless. Like, you can't chase after people. Right. You can't try to snatch the stuff back. You do what you can. And basically, it's nothing. Like, people can get in trouble for that. It creates a liability when they try to stop somebody from shoplifting. And in this case, I mean, it's straight up like boosting. I've never seen, like, these guys should be working and whatever, but it's just
brazen.
Crazy.
Just walk in there, broad daylight. And they don't even wait for the business to close and break in anymore. They go right in during daylight hours. Yeah. And then they're going in there with trash bags like it's trick or treat, like they're trick or treating.
Thousands of dollars of merchandise. And this isn't the only place that got hit up. So the owner called me and he's like, Grizzy, help us get this word out, man, because we don't want them coming. Maybe if they see the Hood News, maybe they'll stop coming. No way, dude. Let me show y'all what happened next. So within the same hour that we made that post, the bandits came back. I don't know if they are taunting us or they just are unaware of the post because they went viral, you guys. Right. They come back and take more battery packs. That's what they were stealing in this video. Yep. But this time, the workers had a plan because they faced a lot of criticism from the peeps. Everybody's like, hey, they didn't do anything. But nah, this time, like you said, Hector, they formed a coalition.
Yeah, and they fought back, and these thieves came back, and they found out. Yeah, you know, and they're small business owners. These guys are, you know, they're here, and they have, you know, this stuff is expensive, like you said. It's really pricey to go in there. Really brazen to walk in there in broad daylight and just take stuff in there. Look at them. Look.
Yeah. So they unite, man. They fight back. They fight against crime. Look at the stuff coming down crashing. I mean, they tried. I mean, that's all we can do is try. I mean, people were more excited this time around, you know, because the people were refusing to be victims.
Hey, you don't mess with Texas.
Yeah. And one thing I want to tell you guys, man, bear spray. That might be a thing, like bear spray. I don't know, because you can't have weapons at your job. But what we don't want is people getting hurt. Right. If these dudes would have been packing some pew-pews, it would have been over. Like this could have turned into something serious. Way to go, though. Those compressors, that was genius. Look at that. Like, it's like lunging a bowling ball at somebody. Pow!
Boom. And those things are heavy.
Yeah. Ooh, he falls. Man, he lost his grip, man. The whole shelf came down.
Left this other guy behind.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
What kind of friend is that?
Man, they need to call the Corey Roth law firm, man. They're going to jail, man.
The HoodNewsLawyer.com.
Yeah, somebody's going to identify him. We got a license plate, but it might be a Stolo.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, I mean, it looks like, you know, people are starting to get fed up.
Yeah,
you know, with this type of stuff. You know, they walk in and walk out with, you know, sacks full of food and groceries and all kinds of stuff.
The crime is crime, and people that squat, they're stealing apartments. They steal pills, like they steal the stuff that they're stealing. Yeah. Then they steal the getaway, the loser cruiser cars. Man, it's just like an all day nonstop. So it's like a free for all. This is really sad, you know, like when there's not much consequence. I remember back in the day when I was doing my little thing, I was always scared, like, because the consequences were worse back then. But, you know, I'm just praying for our youth. We want better for the kids, man. We want our youth to do better. This ain't it, man. You can get hurt. There's been a lot of cases where owners like shoot at the bandits or the bandits shoot it, and then the next thing you know, you've got a capital murder charge or something of the sort. You know, it's just bad karma, man. Like, shout out to our youth, the amazing people that are out there trying to get it by all means the right way. Yep. Not like this.
No, nothing happens good in doing the easy and cheap way.
And I'm here to tell you guys, because I've learned some lessons in this lifetime. That's not the way.
Yeah, this is living life in the fast lane is going to catch up to you. But, you know, hopefully we get these guys off the streets, Grizzy. And if you guys have any tips or whatever, make sure you call the local police department and turn these guys in. And so that way they can stop stealing from these local business owners. Yep. So if you've been keeping up to date on things, there was a shooting last week in the Alameda area, Alameda South Side area. Yeah. Even after HPD did a walkthrough in that neighborhood just a week before.
Yeah. That same night there was a shooting, actually. And so fast forward a few days later, I get a video from a Hood News peep that was taken above, like some stories above a gas station where a woman was gunned down. Then the guy stays there for a while. Meanwhile, paramedics are adding fuel to an EMS, an ambulance. They're fueling up, and they witness this stuff.
And they happen to be there.
Yeah, and a deputy happens to be driving by. They flag him down. Meanwhile, the guy is getting away slowly. The deputy pulls him over. He sees somebody deceased on the ground, and it's like an exchange of gunfire. Wow. Then the poor deputy has to run off into the woods to seek cover, and this guy steals the cop car and then comes back, dumps the cop car back, exchanges more gunfire with the deputy, and then gets his Camaro and goes. Well, we've got an update, folks. We've got the booking photo here of Tilford Anthony Joseph. He's now in custody and charged with murder in the fatal shooting of this woman that led up to this incident. This happened May 7th. So this happened off of Almeda and North McGregor. This was also a suspect that was barricaded inside his home on the day he got arrested. So I got notified that there was a standoff in Katy. Shout out to Shady Katy. Shout out to our peeps in Katy. It's a great community. Everybody sticks together, but something wasn't right when I started getting a lot of messages. Hey, Grizzy, SWAT's out here. Hey, Grizzy, man, it's like some tactical guys are out here. And so Harris County Sheriff's Office, that's their jurisdiction, alongside with some of the HPD tactical officers. They were out there, and he surrendered. At the time, we didn't know it was him, but towards the end, right when he was coming out, we had already confirmed that it was this Tilford Anthony Joseph guy.
Yeah, and when they're talking about armed and dangerous, this is like the guys, the perfect scenario of who they're talking about. This guy went on a GTA run.
Yes.
He got into a cop car, went off on a run, killed a woman, and got an exchange gunfire. This guy was definitely dangerous. Can you imagine this guy being your neighbor?
I'd be terrified. And he had already a history of violence towards the victim. So, we're coming across a lot of these stories, Hector, and people at home where the situations under a roof inside a home or in relationships, these aren't strangers doing this. This is like somebody that said, I love you to this person once upon a time. I really keep Houston in prayer. We've got a lot of this theme is recurring, and we're coming across it more often.
We're dealing with this. You see in Houston, it's almost like a war zone. You cover it every night.
Yeah. It's really crazy. Like last night, Hector, just, a little bit off subject. There were some kids. Mom and dad were out working out of town. Kids threw a party. Early Tuesday morning hours, a gun goes off, and an innocent girl goes to the hospital, and she's okay. She's gonna survive. But to see the kids, like 3 detained, including her own brother, because at the time they didn't even know who did all this.
Right.
So much recklessness.
Do you find that in the last couple of years, I guess since COVID, have things gotten worse?
Worse? Like with the tags, the stolos, stolen cars a lot. When you don't have to register a car, like they were bypassing certain things. The mask. Right. I mean, we're seeing surveillance footage of robbers still wearing masks. So we got to do away with some of that stuff. Like, we ain't got COVID no more. So I don't know. We got to do something. Like, it's just still enabling. There's even schools, kids skipping class, like it just created a lot of chaos.
Right.
And I hope we never get anything like that again. We don't need another pandemic.
No, and inflation also adds to all of that. And one more question, Grizzy, I'm sorry, but in all of that you see, I mean, like I see like the other night you were reporting like 8 incidences that happened overnight.
Yeah.
It's almost it's exhausting.
Yeah,
right?
It is, man. Like I was like, which way do we go? Like I still missed 2 shootings.
Yeah.
It was insane, man. Like 3 people gunned down off of Rankin and Ella Boulevard. Innocent, including an innocent bystander, he got shot in the back, and while 2 guys were road raging, or they got in an accident and they started, pew-pewing each other, and one was shot 5 times, the other guy was shot in the stomach, and it's crazy because I get the families of all these people reaching out saying, oh my gosh, do you have any more information? And it's really sad, man. It's just normal things like exchanging insurance, like the stuff that's normal is not normal, and we're normalizing. We're getting accustomed to seeing people just react with violence or anger. And we need our moral scope needs to be a lot better than what it is.
And prayers for our city. We need it, and we need some tough laws or tough restrictions put in place in the courts too as well.
Most definitely.
And these guys aren't just getting out so easy. Yeah. But glad this guy was caught off the streets, because he was seriously dangerous.
Yep, for sure. And please, ladies, get help, and men too, because men are also. I want to say, I am seeing a lot of women beating up on guys too, like in relationships, abusing verbally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all this stuff. Get help, get out, make a plan, and do it, because your life is precious. There are people that love you, and if they don't know that you're going through these things, how can they help you? So talk to somebody. I'm sure somebody can help you. Get that help.
So we're looking at people swiping and bandits. It's bandit season. If you find yourself in a bad situation or know of somebody that's in a bad situation and needs to have the proper representation, there is a lawyer that will defend you and fight for you and make sure you get the proper representation. That is the Hood News lawyer. That is Corey Roth and law firm, proud sponsors of Grizzy's Hood News. If you find yourself or a friend finds themselves in a bad situation, give Corey Roth a phone call or look them up, hoodnewslawyer.com.
Speaking of GTA 5, I don't know when the 6 is coming out. They said it's supposed to be coming out.
2030.
2030. Oh, man. For real?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness. Man, shout out to all my gamers out there. Y'all know what's up. Look up Hood News. Y'all find me. All right. So, so the other day, we had this crazy story, you guys. There were like 2 cars pulled up on a Cadillac Escalade. And this happened off a Telephone Road, I believe, somewhere out there in the southwest side. And this vehicle was gunned down. I mean, there was like a shootout. We saw someone inside that Escalade also packing a pistol. Right. So I don't know what happened. All we know is that a gentleman by the name of Luis Alfredo Pacheco, he's the son of a president for like the House of Congress over in the Dominican Republic. This young man was shot and killed. He happened to be a DJ, and he was touring, like doing his performances and stuff out here. I don't know if he was the intended target, but somebody killed this man. One of those bullets struck this man fatally, and he died at the scene, I think, or he was taken to the hospital and died at the scene. So there's been an update. We showed everybody, HPD was looking for these 3 individuals, and we got their photo right there. They were dressed in white. They had the what else? ARs. Yeah, they had ARs on them. I think an AK too. I see an AK in there. And these guys were the suspects that were wanted in connection with that shooting.
And they were father and sons too, right?
That's what it turns out to be. And we were getting names. Like people were, I'm like, I don't want to know nothing about this. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Like we let's stick to the porch bandits because I don't know. Like it got really heavy quick. I'm like, I don't want to know none of this. And so yeah, it was just like this story was too crazy. It was insane, like a movie.
It's cartel stuff.
Yeah. I think we even got video of the shooting in there somewhere. One of the clips. If we want to play that for the people. But yeah, they've got people in custody. We got the booking photos of Hernan Torres, which is the dad. He's 50 years old. That's the one that was in the chanclas shooting. Like he got out in chanclas, y'all. Like I don't know if they just got the ring. Hey, y'all, we need you to go pull up on these people. I don't know how this even played out. But then there's Hernan Torres Jr. He's 25, and Hernando Torres, 19. They were charged with murder in the fatal shooting over at the 2400 block of Southwest Side. We don't know to this moment if he was the intended target. You know, the streets talk and everything. It might have been the guy that got sent to the hospital that might have been the target. We don't know, but just like to see this kind of scene was absolutely crazy that night. Look at the windshield. There's a picture there that we enclosed of that Cadillac Escalade. I want to say there's like 30 holes in there, man.
That windshield actually held its own.
Yeah, it did. It held it down, man. Seriously. Unfortunately, there was a death there. And, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because when we rolled back the video just a little more, you see somebody out the Escalade come out with a gun. So did they fire first? On a legal standpoint, that's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Right. Because there might be more. The videos captures only so much, but that surveillance video, I see somebody come out of there. So we'll see what happens, man.
Props to the police department for getting these guys off the streets. It looks like a whole family that was could have been potential dangerous for anybody else. And
there were people across the street over at a bakery. Their cars were parked, and some of those vehicles got hit too. So, man, this gets scary when this kind of stuff. We hear things happen like in the neighborhood, down the block, but out in daylight, because there was still light out there, with lots of people passing, coming and going, driving, parking, getting in their vehicles. Anyone else could have been hit out there. Any other innocent people. But
glad they're off the streets. These guys are caught thanks to the police department. Was it Houston Police?
Yeah, HPD. Shout out to them. They're guys out there, man. They got these cats. I heard that one of them was out of town. I don't know, but I do have a video of one coming out surrendering. It's just been really crazy to see all this. And it's going to be interesting, like I said, to see how this plays out in the court system. Right.
And this is why it's also real important to be vigilant where you're at. Look at your surroundings. Yeah. Your sense of security it could be false sense of security here in Houston. Yeah. Just be on the lookout for your surroundings. All right, so Grizzy, the other morning I woke up. It was about 7:30 in the morning. I heard you chanting and yelling on Facebook. What was this all about?
Yeah, HISD. They are tired of Mike Miles. He's got to go. Hey, ho, ho. Mike Miles has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. Whatever way you feel about it, I want people to engage. Are you for this takeover or are you against it? At first I was like indifferent, and I was like, you know what, if the test scores are really bad, blah blah blah. But you know what's happening with this takeover, Hector, is that it failed in Dallas.
Right.
This Mike Miles guy, like, he disrupted the public school system. And here we are now with him here in Houston, and we're seeing blue ribbon schools affected. Like this, we went to Crockett Elementary yesterday. Parents were protesting because there was the removal of a beloved principal that had been there many years. Yeah. And so we're seeing principals leaving. And I asked them, I said, so who's replacing these principals? Well, Mike Miles apparently has some sort of academy for principals to go under their philosophy, their way of thinking, right, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? So, yeah, I mean, the people were out there in multitudes. They were like, kids were out there. I mean, they had Pinocchio nose on this guy.
I saw the signs. They went all out.
Yeah. They had an entire day this past weekend where they were passing out signs, making them. I mean, these people formed a real union. Yeah. And there were teachers out there, and you know, they're facing possible consequences for having partaken. So it's just really crazy to see where we're at, where people are fighting just for their education rights. Yeah. You know, this is,
and
really
I'm sure
sad.
There's good people that's getting caught up in all this. Yes. And some good principals that are just there and just. They're just a name on paper, and they're just like, let's cross this guy out. Right. But props to these people for doing the right thing, and, you know, just being like the voice to those that don't have a voice, and doing things the right way too as well.
Their purpose out there, and this is something that I worded, their purpose out there is to get attention, be heard, and get Dr. Clark's termination rescinded with the community standing up and saying no, like no more, like they're done. Their goal is to help her get back into that school, and I hope they're letting go of custodians. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the grass isn't trimmed. I mean, it looks like it's a month out. Like, it's just crazy. The janitors are going, like,
that's strange though.
Yeah, like they're cutting down, they're downsizing. Somebody's keeping that money. Where's it going? Our kids essentially is like money. Yeah. And like I tell people, if you don't agree, please engage in these conversations. We need to have them. You know, maybe we're missing something that you guys might see. So I want people to go to these posts. I encouraged yesterday everyone. I'm like, hey, y'all like when we talk gossip or give background on like bandits, you know, rappers, you know, that steal from their homeboys of 10 years. I said, y'all like when we blow that up. Help blow these stories up, because these are very fundamental, important to the community and the kids.
It's the foundation of our city. It's the future of our city. These are the, you know, if HIC, which for many years HIC has been, you know, enthralled into controversy and all kinds of issues the last 10, 20 years. You know, if it took the state to come in and take over, that's one thing. But, you know, to go in and start cleaning house and just remove people who seem like the community actually adored and loved.
Yeah, look, they're out there for her, man. They're repping. And you know, these are blue ribbon schools. These are this school, Crockett Elementary, is a performing arts school. So what's going to happen is, if it continues this way, they might lose the same reason why they enrolled their children there, because they're there for the arts, for the music, for those programs. If they start cutting back, like they take away the library, they take away these teachers, these fundamental important parts and people, componentry of the school, what do they have? It's just going to be a dry. It's not what the parents enrolled their children there for. You know, Hector, I was for the takeover, and I have no problems admitting this, because I used to, you know, say maybe it's a good idea. Yeah. But when you see the schools that were doing so well, like the blue ribbon schools, you see them doing so well, and now they're declining, and the kids, the morale and all, it's really sad. I don't know how we got here. You know, some schools, you know, let some stuff slip, but, you know, for what it's worth, the bullying is still happening. There's kids still getting assaulted. Why can't we focus on that instead of firing good teachers and principals and the people that take care of the school grounds?
Tina on Facebook, she says, thanks, Grizzy, for supporting the community. It was great to see you this morning in the flesh.
Oh, yeah.
And she's very supportive, obviously. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they were real happy, because the video is gaining traction, is gaining the attention. You know, news media goes out there. They interview a couple of parents, but I don't even think they're able to squeeze everything in versus, you know, a Hood News live video. You get it from beginning to end. You get the whole serving. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's about, you know, equal reporting, right? Because people need to know what's happening in our community, right? Yeah. And this is what's happening, what people are caring about. You've done a great job in reporting.
Thank you. Yeah, and we want to hear from everybody. What do you feel? We've already seen that it did not work in the case of Dallas, and they're still picking up pieces. I want to ask people to please engage in these conversations. Like, how do you feel? Like, what can be done? how can we come to some kind of something together as a community, because our kids are at stake.
All right, so that'll do it for episode number 20. Thank you guys for following us, and all of our sponsors and supporters. Thank you again for investing and believing in Grizzy's Hood News. We got a great future, great things ahead of us. I can't believe it's been episode 20.
Yeah. And if everything goes as planned or how we would like, it might be an hour-long show.
Yes.
So we need those sponsors. We need those people so we can do these big things. We got a lot of good plans in store for the Hood News. And, thank you, Hector, and everybody, the crew at Brand Nation, Captain Jack, everybody, Hanson too, Lisette, George, the whole crew, everybody. Thank you so much, because this stuff can't happen without you guys.
No, it's an honor to do it, and we believe in you, Grizzy, and we know that there's a purpose behind this. And until next week, if it's real news,
it's Hood News.